So, I just recorded this video. Look back on it. I didn't like it. Felt like I was too all over the place. So, in this video, we're going to be doing a few things. I'm going to just kind of be doing a bit of a wrap-up on just a few different topics that I've neglected, hockey-wise, because of everything been going on with the Oilers. We're going to talk about the game that just happened between Toronto and Columbus, and that's obviously going to be the thumbnail. This is really going to kind of be me reacting to that, plus some other stuff. And then we're going to kind of look back on my predictions a bit, see what I got right, see what I got wrong. Might even throw in a bit of Montreal-Pittsburgh talk at the end. This is mainly just a why, how could you do this type video. So, last night the Oilers lost to the Blackhawks by blowing a lead late in the game. And I came on here and made a 20-minute video. Pissed. I now look at that and see that I might have overreacted. Because tonight, we saw another team blow a lead. I wondered what team that might be. What team is synonymous for having leads going into the third period, going into the end of the game, and then blowing them up? Game 3, Toronto-Columbus. I sit down to start watch at 8 p.m. Start watching. And I, going into this game, expected that this was the game where, alright, I predicted Columbus to win just because I didn't like Toronto. I think that Toronto, this is probably where they're going to end up turning the series around. They look too good. And I was right. For the first 40 minutes of this game, I was right. Yeah, the shot counts were similar, but at the end of the day, the shots that the Leafs were getting were kind of just better chances. The scoreboard showed that with a 3-0 lead. Cody Ceci and Nick Robertson both got goals. It really looked like, alright, this is going to be that turning in the middle. Side note, I have my playoff bracket back here, and I actually wrote in that Toronto beat Columbus in Game 3. I wrote it in. I had it instead of 1-2. You guys can't see it, but up here in this top corner right there, it says 1-2 because the higher seed is the first digit, and then the lower seed is the second digit. Before this game was over, I wrote it 2-1 because I genuinely thought the Leafs were going to win. Columbus got a goal, and I'm like, okay, that's cute. First time both teams have scored in a game. In the same game, sorry. It's interesting. They get another one. Okay, this is interesting. Drop what you're doing. Eyes on the TV. Let's see what happens. They get the third one. First thing I do is go on my phone to look at the Twitter feed of one Steve Dangle. Steve Dangle is one of my favorite YouTubers. Even though I don't like the Leafs, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm just looking there and I'm like, I don't even remember if he put a tweet out then. I'm pretty sure he did. And all I'm thinking is, oh boy, they're not going to, right? Because we all know what happened. What happens, no, not happens. We know what happens whenever the Leafs have leads going into the third. I hate them and I know this. It doesn't end well for them. And in this game, it didn't end well for them. Now, this game obviously went to overtime. And there were a few storylines going into this overtime for me that were kind of key. The last 5 minutes of that game were a crapshoot, where both teams took turns just going for the best chances they can get. We had a Boone Jenner wrist shot right in the slot. We had some really good chances by the Leafs. Merzlikins, who, by the way, Korpisalo got pulled, and they put in Merzlikins for this game, and Merzlikins was just making every save, covering up, just sitting down on the puck. He was doing a really good job. Going into this, who is going to take control of this? And the two other questions were kind of correlating. How long is this going to last, and how will this affect the game tomorrow? Because if you guys don't know, I'm filming this at 11:59 p.m. The game wrapped up about half an hour ago, and tomorrow at 8, they play again. How is this going to affect fatigue? Now, luckily, we didn't get a multi-overtime battle, but this was a really weird overtime. I loved it. I loved the competitiveness, but it was really weird. The first 2 minutes were all Columbus, and the next 10 almost were all Toronto. Toronto were smothering them, and there were so many times where I'm like, okay, this is it. We're going to get a goal. Leafs Twitter will be saved. Everything will be fine. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think before this, the Blue Jackets had for a bit, but that doesn't matter. Pierre-Luc Dubois on a breakaway. No one's able to catch him. Backhand. Leafs allow 4 goals over the span of a third period and overtime in a playoff game and lose. Now, Leafs fans, even though I don't like your team, I really hate them. If you ask me who to rank all teams 1 through 31, I could sit there and deliberate over the top 30, other than maybe like the top 1 Edmonton, obviously, but Toronto would be 31st. I hate the Leafs. Even I have to sit here and feel kind of sorry for them. Because listen, I loved when, the hockey gods torn them apart in 2013. I loved when they blew the lead in 2017 against the Capitals, even though it was expected. I loved 2018, I loved 2019, but this right here, this cruel punishment, this is too much. This is just flat out too much punishment to put one franchise through. This was really sad to watch. It really was. And like I said, I hate the team, but all I can think right now is almost like sorrowness. Disappointment. This was really sad to see. There are big questions going into tomorrow. I think the main ones are going to be directed at the Leafs. I think one of the bigger ones will be fatigue. Still with that extra period, you have to question. So I think fatigue's a big question, but I think the bigger ones come with the Leafs. What do you do to get, Matthews, the big four have been good, but when you're paying them $40 million, they have to show up more in this. So, what are we going to get point production-wise from that big four? Are there going to be line changes? What about that defense? You know you're not getting Muzzin back for Game 4, and if you even if you win Game 4, you know you're not getting him back for Game 5. Who should be in the lineup? Who should be in the lineup? Should Rasmus Sandin get in? Now, some people might even throw out the argument of, well, we should start Jack Campbell. Don't. Anderson's been good. I don't know how much you can blame him for many of the goals that go in, because a lot of the goals that the Blue Jackets have scored on them have been garbage goals in front of the net. And the backhand, you let Dubois alone on a breakaway. I don't think there's really much Freddie can do. You can't blame him for the fact that nobody else did enough on defense. And you can say they tried. You can say they gave a damn. They didn't do enough. At the end of the day, Toronto, I'm sorry. Transitioning into another team who's arguably getting an upset. Hey, any of you have Montreal over Pittsburgh on your 2020 bingo cards? Montreal, the team that's went on multiple 8-game losing streaks, the team that lost to Detroit and actually made up for, if I'm not mistaken, over 35% of their points collected this year. Yeah, that team is currently 1 game away from beating the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh my God. Listen, here's the thing, right? Montreal over Pittsburgh is so much worse than Chicago over Edmonton because we have the excuse of we don't have playoff experience and they have a lot of experience. Montreal have none. Pittsburgh have all of it. Where's your excuse, Pittsburgh? Is it Jack Johnson? Or are we going to blame Evgeny Malkin? Who are we going to blame? We should be blaming Jack Johnson. But knowing how this front office works, blaming Phil Kessel, in a way, they kind of threw him under the bus. I know he didn't perform the best, but come on. You put a pair of Jack Johnson, yep, and Erik Goodbranson. And I say Erik Goodbranson because the only good thing that he did for you was allowing you to then trade him to Anaheim and not have to take much back for him. That's the only good he did for you. Erik Goodbranson, you put that pair together. I think you could have blamed that last year. But yeah, who's going to be blamed this year? That's going to be interesting. Let's wrap this video up with just a quick prediction review. So far, when I look at who's in the lead, I'm pretty sure Calgary's about to beat Winnipeg in that series, so I'm going to be wrong on that one. I predicted Vancouver to beat Minnesota. I predicted Arizona to beat Nashville. That was my fun surprise pick. I picked Edmonton over Chicago. I picked Columbus over Toronto, Islanders over Panthers, Hurricanes over Rangers. By the way, congrats to the Hurricanes for making it into the next round. And I predicted Pittsburgh over Montreal. But then again, I don't think there's many people who picked Montreal over Pittsburgh. That being said, I do take partial credit for saying that I did say that Montreal did have a chance to put up a fight against Pittsburgh and give them a little bit of trouble. I think I underestimated the trouble a little bit. A little. But yeah, that's this video. Leafs fans, I'm sorry. Genuinely. And tomorrow's going to be a crazy day because it's Arizona Nashville. We have Islanders Panthers. We have a Oilers Blackhawks. We have Canadiens Penguins, Vancouver Minnesota, and Toronto Columbus. That's all elimination games, obviously. I think it's obvious that all those are elimination games, possibly. But that's 4 Canadian teams. And honestly, tomorrow will determine the fate of my predictions. Tomorrow will determine the fate of 6 teams, possibly. There are 6 teams that might be out tomorrow. 2 of them are the cities, that are hosting the damn thing. Because this league is awesome, isn't it? Thank you all for watching. I will see you not tomorrow, alright? I know it would be really logical for me to have a video going out tomorrow after Edmonton's game because I won't have to stay up late. I'm on the road. So if they get eliminated, you're going to get the version that you got after game 1 where I've had a little bit to collect thoughts. But honestly, that might be for the best. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And goodbye for now.